anywhere, from anyone. And you probably, perhaps already know this is true. I know this is true. I've gone through nights where fear was gripping me when I was young. I couldn't even tell you how that feels, because it's one of those things you just kind of can't express other than, if you could put a face on it, it would be like, right? It would just be like, that's what's going on inside of you, right? You just are exploding with fear, anxiety, and turmoil. You don't know what to do with it. It may be a description of suffocating in your own skin, or wrapped in cellophane, or buried alive, whatever you choose. Whatever sends that raw panic, up and down your spine. That's the idea. And if you don't have a remedy for that, and you think that's hell, it isn't. But you can see it from there. I could see hell from there, but that wasn't hell. And I know for me, if that's even close to hell, I don't want anything to do with that. Lord, I'm coming to you, and you can quiet that in my soul. You can put rest where there's nothing but total chaos and fear, and I'm telling you, man, that's the gospel. That's the gospel right there. Because everything in the world can happen out here, and if you don't have that rest in your soul, if you don't have that peace that passes understanding, that settles down everything that's going on inside of you, if you don't have that, you don't have anything. You've got nothing. See? And that's what Jesus is saying. Anybody who has ever experienced life in all of its intensity will realize, hey, man, I need to get some help. Because if you haven't experienced that whole anxiety, heavy duty, you can see hell from here kind of experience, just hang on. Someday, because see, I'm convinced, for me at least, the Lord was being merciful in allowing me to see that. See, he revealed himself to me, and when he says, only I, Jesus, will reveal who the Father is. And he will. He will reveal him in such a way that you will cry out to him, because sometimes the Lord will let you go to that place that can't be handled by you in any way. And that's a good thing. It doesn't feel like a good thing. It's a good thing because that's what will cause the crying out to him. I don't know about you, but it takes and took for me a good deal of that before I really cried out to God for help. Well, you were stubborn. I was stubborn. Stubborn, hard-headed, hard-hearted. But you get into that predicament inside your soul and you will break. If you don't break, you'll die eternally. And Jesus said, as he uses those very terms, you who are laboring and are heavy laden, you come to me because I'll give you rest. Amen? So tonight, as we go to the table, I'm just going to encourage you, maybe you're thinking that through, and there are still times in my life where I get heavy anxiety. Just things build up, and you get overwhelmed. And the first thing I do is I cry out to God. I go to Christ immediately. You know why? Because he's the only one that has the rest. He's the Prince of Peace. Amen? Which means he's the originator, he's the owner of it. He created peace, and so he owns the peace. So guess what? If you're not having peace, you go to see him because he's the Prince of Peace. He's the one. I run to him immediately. I'm just going to say this. If you are struggling somewhere in your life, somehow there's a lack of peace and calm. There's storms raging inside you, and you need help. You need to come unto him. come unto him at the table and say, Lord, I'm coming. I'm coming because you can give me rest, and I need that. And Jesus said, whosoever, anybody, all ye who are heavy laden and burdened and laboring in this and struggling through life, somehow there's something that you're just not able to get through, you need to come to him because he can deal with it for you. He'll yoke up to you in that thing, whatever it is, and he'll pull. And you can sit back and let him do the work and let him carry the weight, because that's who he is. And he'll do that quiet work in your soul, and you can have peace. Jesus said, remember me. Come and remember me. So come tonight and just remember what he's done. Remember Jesus tonight. Spend some time at the table with him and talk to him. Share with him. He is the greatest. He is the most blessed, wonderful counselor, isn't he? He's the great physician. He is the one that knows your soul, knows everything about you, and can deal with every issue that you'll have in life. So